Listen, when I tell you that this episode of NBC Found had one of the greatest welcome home moments, I really mean it. This episode was definitely a tearjerker. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Lawrence Report. Tonight's broadcast discussing episode 15 of NBC Found Missing While Seeking Asylum. And yes, I know that this video is really late. Super duper late, y'all. I'm sorry work just had your boy held up, but I was like, I'm still gonna get out this video regardless, right? Let's talk about NBC Found. And as I said earlier, this right here was one of the greatest welcome home moments that I've seen in the history of this show. Very emotional. Man, and we discussed this right here, this episode last night. We all discussed the episodes on Sunday, and usually around 9 o'clock, never go live, and everybody had the same. Everybody's basically thinking the same thing, that this was absolutely incredible. But let's get into NBC Found. So this episode right here, a lot of it is basically dedicated to Trent. I'll talk about Lacey and Zeke later, and I'll also talk about Jamie and Margaret later on. Jamie dropped a big clue, y'all. He dropped a big clue. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button as well. So, the basis of this episode right here is basically evolving the Trent family legacy, right? We know that Sir has got into Trent's head, right? Trent wants to do everything he can to protect the Trent family legacy, right? We saw him and his girl Heather. They out there on this run, and she asked him basically what's wrong. He doesn't want to get into all the details, and she kind of mentions that she wants to talk to him about something, but things happen, words get mixed up, and what she had to say was very important because we know what happened at the end of the episode was what she was trying to tell him, right? So now Trent is still trying to figure out how can I protect my family legacy. He goes to Gabby for help, right? Because Sir, like I said, Sir is all up in his head. Sir got this man completely shook right now, right? So him and Gabby have to tag team to figure out this case about these missing 7 children, right? That Trent's father is allegedly tied to from back in the day. And Gabby and Trent are working together. Of course, the team they come up with a couple of clues, trying to track down these kids. Keep in mind, these kids have been missing for over 39 years, right? And these kids are brilliant, they're smart, and they basically was captured and stuff like that due to them being so smart. I think the price for these kids was roughly around 10,000, right? Or 1,000, I can't remember, somewhere around that ballpark. But it turns out after they doing all the tracking, there was this journalist. I forgot the lady name, but a journalist was working and writing stories about these kids. I know this one kid was named Lawrence, of course, that's my name, and he got detached from his family. And the crazy part is, they even went to another guy who was actually a principal. They thought that the principal may have something to do with it. That wasn't the case. The principal actually loved these kids. He talked about how one of the girls was writing poetry, right? That could just bring an old man to tears with the words that she was saying, right? And I thought that was very incredible right there because, again, these kids are gifted. And one of the crazy parts was, whenever we find out that it was basically the old journalist, the white woman, how she was basically tied to it, I couldn't believe it that a woman of this stature, you're supposed to be on the good side, but she talked about how she wanted to get Trent's dad to help them basically uncover the story, but she kind of went underneath and did the bad stuff herself. So that was kind of crazy to me in all aspects, right? Now, the one thing, as these kids are being reunited, we just see that episode where the little girl was pointing at TVs like, "Daddy, Daddy got you on TV." I was like, "Oh man, okay, that's a very emotional moment." All of these people actually reunited with their family, right? And when they did that welcome home moment, right? You saw Lacey there; she was on cloud nine. They even had Margaret's son Jamie; he was out there helping people. I was like, man, this is very emotional, man. This is really good because they was crying, they were celebrating each other because they all have been missing for so long. Now, I gotta speak about Trent Daddy. I did not like the way Trent Daddy treated that one man. Can't think of that man's name, but I did not like that right there. Trent Dad, even the way he be talking to Gabby, right? Trent Dad is as I said last night in the live, Trent Dad is a bigoted old man. You know what I'm saying? He's caught in the past, right? Um, I had more I want to say about Trent Dad, but I'm just trying to keep it tread lightly. But yeah, I do not like Trent's dad. And like I said last night on our live, I feel like Trent is caught up in between two worlds. He's trying to do right by the badge, but he's also trying to be. Uh, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be caught up in the old ways of his father. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, everybody's reunited. Great happy ending. Very emotional. Happy about that. Now let's switch gears and we'll talk about Jamie and Margaret. Right. So Jamie has been disappearing. Well, let me backtrack. Margaret, they have a flashback. Margaret is basically backtracking all the people who have been let into her house, right? Because allegedly some people they had some keys, whatever, and she's wondering, she has this long list of people who she think that may have came into the house, stole Jamie, who they have gave a key to. I'm like, well, how many people did y'all give a key to? Because typically you only give a key to maybe the grandparents and maybe a sister or brother, but it seemed like they let the whole neighborhood get a key. You know what I'm saying? So that was crazy. Her husband's parents are actually up there. So she's fed up about that. And like I said, Mark's trying to backtrack everything, right? Now, fast forward to present day, Jamie has been doing these disappearing acts, right? But also, Jamie, while he was being captured, he learned how to draw, right? We saw that he basically helped M&A with a sketch because there really are sketch artists at the police department all the time do the same thing that Jamie do, right? So I thought that was dope how he was helping them out. Now, Jamie has been disappearing, and Margaret has been getting worried about it, right? I completely get it. But she noticed how she was buying him new clothes, but he went back to wearing his old clothes. And when she figured that out, she's like, listen, you're going back to see them people, aren't you? The people captured you? And he's like, yeah. So at that point in time, Margaret can't believe what's happening right now. I couldn't believe it either. But he also dropped a bomb because Margaret was like, listen, I want you to tell me what's going on. And he dropped a bomb saying who the people are, who the person is. And he mentioned that he's not ready to reveal her name, right? So we know there's a woman that captured Jamie at the end of the day. On my last video that I recorded, I said I had a suspicion that it could have been a woman, and only time will tell. Well, actually, we do know now that it is a woman. So it is a woman that captured Jamie, but we don't know which woman it is in the family. Is a family friend. We don't know that aspect right there. So Margaret's hurt, and I'm like, I understand. Either I'm like, Jamie, why you going back to these people, man? You're free. They freed you or whatever. You escaped. Why you keep going back to those people? So I'm confused about that right there. But hey, we are about to get the reveal of this woman very, very soon. And now let's talk about Zeke and Lacey. Now, Zeke and Lacey, they've been going back and forth for a minute. She been spending the night was actually living with him, period. You know what I'm saying? Due to the whole surf situation. Sarah's in jail now. It seems like she is able to get back to some normalcy in her life, right? She's actually studying. I think she's studying to be a lawyer, things of that nature. But she feels like she's cramping up his style due to him having an old girl over his house from last episode. Now we know these two have feelings for each other. We know these two have not really been honest and open with each other, right? And Zeke is like, I bought you some food, help you study throughout the night. And she's like, no, I'm good. I think I'm going to eventually move out and things of that nature. But I appreciate Don. I appreciate the brothers. I appreciate the homies. They're coming together. They're having this conversation about Lacey. And I'm paraphrasing what I'm saying here, but basically Don let Zeke know that at the end of the day, bro, this is a great woman. If you want her, go after her. Please do not lose this woman, right? So I appreciate the bro code. I appreciate the bro talk that those two have right there. And that's exactly what Zeke does. You know what I'm saying? He goes after his woman. She's getting ready to go and she's like, well, now you can invite Shelly over and y'all can be cool, yada yada. He's like, listen, Shelly is not my woman. Please don't get twisted. That's the homie, the way it seemed, right? But, as she's getting ready to go to the door, and I thought, well, maybe I said Zeke about to go outside and go for her. But no, 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 he didn't do that. He's not ready to go outside quite yet, right? But as they're saying their goodbyes, whatever, he realized that I can't let her go. He ends up snatching her. He pulls her in to kiss her. And I was like, okay, man, it's about time, brother. It's about time. I'm glad you and Lacey definitely had y'all a kiss on. And I think they're going to be official, y'all. I think they're going to be official. And, besides that, and then we get to the ending, of course, and we got old Heavy Boots. Heavy Boots ends up writing this note. He's talking to Trent about it because Trent is like, listen, Trent is basically going back to jail now, where not Heavy Boots, but where Sir's located at. He's like, well, listen, my family legacy is intact. I'm good to go. Sir is like, not quite. He ends up having this note that he wants Gabby to get, but he wants Trent to read it out in front of Gabby. And then here comes Trent girl. She comes into prison as well. She's like, well, this is all I'm trying to tell you, that I'm basically representing Trent. I mean, representing Z. Lord. Representing Sir. I can't get my names right. I'm representing Sir. So he's completely shook. He's talking to Gabby about it. And Gabby's like, oh, you want me to go see uh, Sir? And he's like, yeah. Well, Gabby's like, well, did Sir say anything? Of course, he lied. There's a note in the back of his pocket. That's basically how the episode ends. Yeah, yeah. So it's just a matter of time before Gabby ends up finding out about that note. Soon we'll find out everything when it comes to Jamie. And this episode was good. This was a great episode. That welcome home moment was the icing on the cake for me, y'all. That was the icing on the cake for me. So as always, thank you for tuning into the Lawrence Report.